Hey everybody. So we're going to try and make a paper owl design today. So normally in class we would try to do this as a clay project and make a clay owl, but since we're out of school and we're not going to be able to do that, I just thought I would try to turn this clay project into a paper sculpture project just to see if we could do it, because I kind of like these owls and I think they're pretty cool. So it'll look a little something like this. I'm going to give a few more details in the final lesson. So let's get started. So if you want your owls to be realistically colored, then I'm going with gray and brown and tan, right? And you could even do a little bit of white if you wanted to. You can make your owl rainbow colored owl if you want to. Do whatever you want, okay? It's up to you, okay? That's kind of the fun thing about doing this from your house is you can make it work however you want. But I'll start with the gray here, and then we'll add some details and stuff to it. So what I'm gonna do to start out with is I'm gonna draw basically a big oval on my paper, and then I'm going to cut that oval out, and that's going to be the body for our owl. Okay? So once I get this cut out, then we'll roll it over and make the basic shape of the owl's body. Okay? If we were doing this out of clay, we'd roll out a piece of clay and cut it out, and then we'd roll this over, okay, and we would place the paintbrush in there to keep it from getting smashed down. But I think with paper, it won't be too big a deal. If you don't like your pencil lines being on there, then just make sure you cut inside your pencil line a little bit so that you don't have your pencil lines on there at all. Even if you turn it over on the back, because you're going to roll it over, you might still get some pencil lines on there. So I'm going to roll this over and glue it down. In order to get it to stay a little bit better, I think it's best to fold that part down, and then you can kind of roll this over, and you can take some glue and glue it down. You might need to spend a little bit of time on this step right here, okay? Take the glue and try to move the paper around a little bit and slide it up and down, and then press that, okay, and give it a little bit of time to dry, okay? You may even want to put something onto it for a moment, okay, and hold it into place, okay, and let it dry there while we do these next parts. So if you have something heavy, okay, don't smash the whole thing down, okay, but put something there to kind of hold that into place while we do the next parts, okay? The other two parts that are important for this are the eyes, okay? If you want to find some circles to trace, you can do that, okay? Or you can just cut out the eyes on your own, okay? If you want them to be exactly the same size, okay, you can do that little trick where we fold the piece of paper in half, like we learned on our butterfly project, okay? And then you can cut both of those eyes out at the same time and get them to be exactly the same shape. So that's something you can use from last time, okay? Then you want a beak for your owl. I don't know exactly how long you want the beak, but I'll take a piece of paper and I'll fold it over here and I'll cut it into a triangle shape, okay? Now I can always change the length of the beak later on, okay? But that gives me the shape of the beak there. And while that other piece is drying over there, we can make the feet of the owl, okay? So I'll take another piece of paper, okay, and go ahead and fold it in half, and then I'm going to make the feet by snipping little triangles out and making the talons of the owl, okay. So So we'll make it kind of like this. So we'll make 3 sharp little toes there, okay? There's not really a right or wrong way. And then, since I did those all the same too, I'll cut those in half, okay? And then what I would like to do is have them kind of curl, right? So they look like they would grab onto a branch. So if I want to curl them up, I can take them around my pencil and I can actually just curl the paper around the pencil, and then that gives the paper that curled shape. Okay, so I'll start here and I'll curl them around my pencil, and I'll give my owl that curling shape. Okay, so there's a couple different ways to attach it on to the bird later, so we'll have to fold some kind of tab on there. Okay, so we'll put that over to the side. So hopefully this is getting dry here and we don't have too much to worry about. So I don't know, we'll find out. Okay, you can test it a little bit. Seems like it's okay. It's drying out pretty well. Okay, now we can add some texture to our owl. If you want to stick with the same colors, you can do that. If you want to add some other colors to the owl, you can add some layers. One way to add the texture is to cut some pieces of paper and then do that fringing and then give it a little crumple, and then you can start making texture on your owl. Okay, so what I did for that piece was I almost sort of traced the curve of the owl here, and then I just divided this up into some different pieces so I could make some feathers for the owl. Okay, so I'll take this piece off of here. Okay, you could tear the paper, okay, and then you'd have sort of that rough torn texture, but I kind of like the cut texture for this part. So I'm going to cut these into strips here. 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm just going to use my scissors to make fringes in them. Okay. And then crumple that up a little bit. And then we can start layering those together. Okay. So we'll take those and crumple them up. Just give them some three-dimensional texture. If we're doing this with the clay project, we just take our clay tools in there and we just press them into the clay and give it some texture. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. We can start by adding a little bit of texture here, and we can let that one layer on top of it, and then a little bit more, and a little bit more, and then we kind of start to have a three-dimensional texture for our owl. Okay, so some people like to have the owl's wings just drawn on and folded there on its side, and some people like to actually make wings that would stick out from the side. So you could draw like the shape of a wing, okay, if you like that, and you can cut out that shape of the wing, and then we can add that over onto the side so that it sticks out like that. So let me make a few more cuts and get a few more things ready here, and then I'll show you a few more details. Maybe we can glue this together and be pretty close to done. Okay, so let's try something else here. So if you don't like the cut look for the wings of the owl, you can always use that technique that we did last time when we used the tearing on the butterfly, and we've practiced this a few different times, and then tear the edge, and the wing of the owl will have a more softer, fuzzier edge to it, okay? And then, so let's glue these things into place and let's get started on here, okay? Probably the easiest way to do this, okay, to make this work is to actually just put some glue across the whole owl, and then if you know where you're starting with these pieces, just glue those down, okay? One piece at a time. And glue those into place there, okay? And you can always add a few other pieces if you don't like exactly what that looks like, but I think that probably works for now. If you want the wings to be on the front, you can make them be on the front. If you wanted to cut some texture and put some texture on the wings as well, you could do that, okay? You could give the wings a little crumple, right? And then they would have some texture. You could fold the wings a little bit, and then they could also have some texture. So there's a few different things you could do to add some texture to the wings rather than just cut and glue things onto there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these wings on here onto the side because I think that looks kind of cool that way. Put the wings onto the owl out to the side here, okay? It's just getting ready to fly. And then we're gonna glue the feet onto the owl, okay? You can do it where you fold the tab up like this, and then it will make the foot of the owl stick out, but I don't really like to have that yellow part sticking up there, so I think I'm gonna fold it underneath so that it's kind of hidden underneath the owl this way. So I'm gonna put a little bit of glue here and we'll glue that into place, kind of like that, okay? So I'll fold that tab underneath the owl instead of going upwards. And we'll put a little glue onto there and we'll stick that into place. Okay, and we have our feet kind of being three-dimensional, okay, and sticking out from the owl, okay? You can see it pretty well from the side, like that. See how they're three-dimensional? Cool. All right, then the beak, okay? This beak is pretty long. It might be a little too long for what I want, but if I wanted it to stick out, I could fold it, okay, so that it went across. See if you can see that in the screen, okay, right, across, down, and then back across, and then I could glue it onto here, okay, so that it kind of stuck out straight from the owl, and that works okay, but I think it might look a little bit better if it points down a little bit, okay. I think I'm going to shorten it just a little bit, okay. I don't think I want it to be quite that long, so let me shorten it a little bit and make that look a little better. You, of course, can choose whatever you want. If you're doing your rainbow owl, maybe you want to have a giant rainbow owl beak. That's up to you. I'll let you figure that out. So we'll glue that down so that it is just a little bit three-dimensional. Okay, and you can kind of see now that it does stick out from the side a little bit, okay? With the eyes, we can take those and we can glue those down onto there, okay? You might want to make the eyes pop up a little bit, so you could take some paper and you could put it underneath there so that the eyes would like lift off of the surface of the paper a little bit and be sort of three-dimensional. But I think it'll be fine if we just glue those into place here. I don't like this. So we'll put a little glue here. And then you can always go back in and draw, okay? So I'm going to use a Sharpie to put the eyes in here. And then I could go back in and I could use the marker and draw some texture or details onto the owl as well if I wanted to do that. Now to really make it finished up and look like an owl, especially like a great horned owl, we sort of want these big tufts of feathers over the eyes of the owl. You can keep it just like this if you like this look, but I think it looks kind of cool if you create some type of a shape to go above the eyebrows of the owl. Now often I'll make that look somewhat like a little crescent shape, okay, or like a semicircle shape. It's not exactly a semicircle, but that kind of looks good. And you can put them over the eyes of the owl like that, okay. If you put them down like that, he'll look a little perturbed and angry, okay. If you tuck them in behind like that, he'll look pretty surprised still. Let's make this one look a little bit mad today. How about that? So he feels a little grumpy today. So we'll put a little bit of glue right there and glue that down. He's feeling, it looks like he got woken up too early in the morning when he was supposed to be sleeping. And he's a little ticked off about it. Alright, cool. Alright, so we've got that owl. This one's looking pretty surprised. Okay, that one's looking a little grumpy. That's okay. If you want to add something cool to finish everything off, okay, try this, okay. Take a piece of brown paper and roll it up. And as you roll it up, crush it a little bit in your hands. Smash it down, okay? Don't twist it, okay, or you'll end up tearing the paper. So you just have to squeeze it tightly. Squeeze it tightly, okay? And you can make a branch for your owl to stand on, okay? If you really want it to look sort of three-dimensional, okay, then hook the owl's feet around that branch, okay? And it'll look sort of three-dimensional, like it's sitting on the branch. Now, in order to glue that into place, you really are going to have to wait a little while. So I'll pull the feet of the owl up, and I'll put some glue here, and then I'll press that branch into that glue, and I'll curl those feet underneath, okay? And I'm going to wait a while for that glue to dry in order for that to not come off of there, okay? If you don't want to wait too long and you have a hot glue gun at home, you could use a little hot glue in order to get that there, okay? Or you could tape it, or maybe even try to run a staple into there, okay? But you'll probably have to wait a little while in order for that glue to dry. But once it's dry, you should be good. And then you will have a couple of owls sitting on their branches, okay? So not nearly as cool as the clay version, okay, that we would normally do, but kind of a cool substitute for it in the paper owl, all right? Okay, I hope you guys had fun with that. Send me a picture if you made it, okay? Talk to you later. Bye-bye.